A very good evening to all of you. You're watching News Tonight. My name is Aditi Nagpal Girotra. Let's get the bulletin rolling with the headlines first. India and Germany pledged to make multi-pronged efforts to combat terrorism. Prime Minister Modi and Germany's Chancellor Angela Merkel hold summit-level talks. Both nations signed 22 agreements in various fields, including technology, artificial intelligence, agriculture, and education. Election Commission announces dates for Jharkhand Assembly polls, voting to be held between 30th November and 20th December, counting on 23rd December. Air pollution reaches dangerous levels in Delhi National Capital Region. Central Pollution Control Board declares public health emergency. Schools will remain shut. Construction will remain banned till 5th of November. Five lakh government vehicles to be converted into e-vehicles in a phased manner. Union Minister Prakash Javadekar flags off electric vehicles for use by Ministries of Environment and Information and Broadcasting. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu lays stress on promoting reading habits among children and youth. Inaugurates 21st Northeast Book Fair in Guwahati. Calls for a movement to revive libraries. India and Germany on Friday agreed to enhance their engagement on strategic and economic relations to create a perfect multipolar world. At a summit-level meeting between Prime Minister Modi and German Chancellor Merkel, the two sides charted out a roadmap of long-term relations in multiple sectors.
German Chancellor Angela Merkel took part in the India-Germany intergovernmental consultation along with Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi on Friday. After this biennial summit-level meeting, both countries signed 22 agreements and MOUs, keeping in mind both long-term and short-term priorities. The agreements range from foreign policy consultation to strategic infrastructure projects. Other fields include railways, green transport, artificial intelligence, startups, football and employment opportunities in Germany for Indians.
सन 2022 में स्वतंत्र भारत 75 वर्ष का होगा। तब तक हमने न्यू इंडिया के निर्माण का लक्ष्य रखा है। इस बहुआयामी प्रयास में भारत की प्राथमिकताओं और आवश्यकताओं के लिए जर्मनी जैसे टेक्नोलॉजिकल और इकोनॉमिक पावर हाउस की क्षमताएं उपयोगी होगी। इसलिए हमने न्यू एंड एडवांस टेक्नोलॉजी, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, स्किल्स, एजुकेशन, साइबर सिक्योरिटी जैसे क्षेत्रों में सहयोग बढ़ाने पर विशेष बल दिया है।
Both leaders also talked about strategies to combat terrorism in all its forms, including cyber terrorism. Both nations also decided on cooperation on both bilateral as well as multilateral fora.
आतंकवाद और उग्रवाद जैसे खतरों से निपटने के लिए हम बायलैटरल और मल्टीलैटरल सहयोग को और घनिष्ठ बनाएंगे। एक्सपोर्ट कंट्रोल रेजिम्स और विभिन्न अंतर्राष्ट्रीय मंचों में भारत की सदस्यता को जर्मनी के सशक्त समर्थन के लिए हम जर्मनी के आभारी हैं।
Modi and Merkel also discussed measures to increase economic and trade relations, including increasing investment in priority areas.
India has a huge potential here, especially when it comes to digitalization. But the development is very fast. Also, when it comes to 5G and AI, it's a challenge. And if we work together, this would be a wonderful way of cooperation. It's also about trade, innovation, investment, and knowledge. It's a big part of our cooperation. We will be happy to engage in big infrastructure projects that you are envisaging and that you are developing further. In terms of sustainable development and climate protection, we intend to work together very closely. There are many areas, both in environmental areas like waste management, pure water, and also climate issues.
The German Chancellor was also accorded a warm welcome at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. She also paid floral tributes to Mahatma Gandhi at Rajghat. She termed the unification of East and West Germany on the lines of Gandhian thought. She also met President Ramnath Kovind in the evening. On Saturday, she will meet important leaders of business houses in Delhi.
Germany can be a very important partner in achieving the goal of New India. Germany has technology, Germany has investment capacity, and India has a big opportunity for every type of investments. It is up to us that how we utilize this opportunity. Akhilesh Suman for Rajya Sabha Television with camera person Suresh in Delhi.
The Election Commission on Friday announced 5-phase poll schedule for 81 seats in Jharkhand State Assembly. Making the announcement, Chief Election Commissioner Sunil Arora said in New Delhi that assembly polls will be held in 5 phases between November 30th and December 20th in Jharkhand. The counting of votes will take place on 23rd of December. He told reporters that the polls to 81-member assembly will be held on 30th November, December 7th, 12th, 16th and 20th. The term of the State Assembly ends on 5th of January 2020. This will be the first state election to allow the use of postal ballots for senior citizens over the age of 80 years and specially abled people after rules were changed recently.
Adequate personnel for Central Armed Forces are being deployed for security during the election process so that registered voters from all sections of society can exercise their franchise without fear. Special security arrangements will be in place for left-wing extremism affected areas.
The CEC said that some of the seats are affected by left-wing extremism and the decision has been taken keeping in mind 13 constituencies will go to poll in the first phase, 20 in the second phase, 17 in the third, 15 in the fourth phase, and 16 constituencies will go to polls in the fifth phase. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh reached Tashkent, Uzbekistan on Friday to attend a key meeting of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization and participated in bilateral engagements with the Uzbekistan government. Rajnath Singh will represent India at the meeting of the Council of Heads of Government of SCO on Saturday. The leaders participating in the meeting are expected to focus their discussions on multilateral economic cooperation in the SCO region. This will be the third Council of Heads of Government meeting after India became a member of the SCO. The Defence Minister will also have bilateral engagements in Tashkent. He will hold a meeting with the Uzbek Minister of Defence to discuss issues of bilateral defence cooperation. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has stressed on the need to inculcate reading habits in children and youth. In his address at the inauguration of the 21st Northeast Book Fair in Guwahati, Naidu said that there is a need to take immediate steps to encourage the habit of reading in students. Naidu expressed concern over decreasing concentration in children and stressed on the fact that nowadays children are busy on the internet and prefer to search online for information rather than rely on books. He also talked about reviving the library movement in India.
Children prefer watching videos online. One major reason is the diminishing attention span in a fast-paced world. Unfortunately, a lot of content available online is of a cursory or superficial nature and does not promote deep reflection and introspection. A recent scholarly survey found that only 32% of children read 24 non-academic books annually. This is really troubling, worrying. One of the ways to tackle the problem is to inculcate the habit of reading from very young age. They must be encouraged to look at reading as a fun, as an enjoyment activity rather than a chore. The parents must also serve as role models to their children and read books themselves so that the children may follow the parents.
The Vice President suggested that events like the Northeast Book Fair will help children and youth to become intelligent, explore their creativity, and stimulate innovative and inventive ideas in them. Naidu also urged schools to actively encourage children to read by setting up reading camps and workshops and maintaining excellent libraries. He said this would help children familiarize with the lives and struggles of our freedom fighters and make them aware of the Indian history, art, culture, and heritage.
From ancient Indian literature to contemporary forms, India has been still is home to hundreds of talented writers and gifted poets, and I am sure that this legacy of literary brilliance will be kept alive by generations of writers to come. My dear sisters and brothers, books are informative, illuminative, and inspiring, and they are best companions, counselors, and change agents. Books help widen our horizon, our understanding, our knowledge. The more we read books, the more we understand the world around us and discover life beyond what we have already known. Reading enhances our knowledge skills and develop fluency, allow us to express our thoughts and ideas better, and hence we become much better communicators.
We are every year we are organizing this book fair, and we think we are much successful in this regard. And this year we think around 273 participants stalls are there in this book fair, and our Baki other year also Bangladeshi stall is also there, and next time we are trying to bring more foreign publishers.
The 7th India-US Economic and Financial Partnership meeting was held in New Delhi on Friday. It was co-chaired by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman and US Secretary of Treasury Stephen T. Mnuchin. Briefing reporter Sitharaman said during meeting, both sides took stock of the efforts undertaken to further improve mutual cooperation on a wide range of multilateral subjects, including anti-money laundering and combating financing of terrorism. Discussions were also held in Chabahar port.
From our side, we did explain the Indian position, particularly the need for us to maintain land-based access to Afghanistan, particularly, therefore, the need for us to have the Chabahar link, and through Chabahar, the rail link with which we are able to reach out to Afghanistan, and also recently how successfully Afghanistan was able to export 700 tons of quite a large quantity of the agricultural produce using this access to seaport. Also for strategic and other reasons, it was important for us to continue with that, and that, to my understanding, is well heard and taken cognizance of by the American side. So we've explained the need for us to have to maintain our links through Chabahar for Afghanistan's sake, considering the extent of our commitment for developing the social and other infrastructure in Afghanistan. Also in the context of Pakistan continuously denying us access through land route.
I think we had a very broad discussion on regulatory issues, economic issues, bond markets, technical assistance, debt sustainability, FATF in combating terrorist financing. That's something that we both see as a big priority.
With this, we'll halt in for a quick breather, but we'll be back soon. Stay tuned with us.
Watch The Big Picture with me, Frank Rausen Pereira, at 9:30 p.m.
Tales that inspire. Stories of social change. A salute to diversity. Promoting public discourse. Events that motivate. Inspiring the innovative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries.
What are some key legislations introduced in Rajya Sabha? Some of the key legislations introduced in Rajya Sabha are the Hindu Marriage and Divorce Bill 1952, the Hindu Succession Bill 1954, the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Bill 1969.
Mihir Sen, an outstanding and extraordinary saltwater swimmer of India. He is the first Asian to swim the English Channel way back in 1958. And just 8 years later, in 1966, he swam the 7 seas of the 5 continents in 1 calendar year, which etched his name in the Guinness Book of World Records. In 1959, he was also conferred the Padma Shri, and in 1967 he was awarded the Padma Bhushan.
Welcome back. You're still with us on News Tonight. Pollution control body EPCA has declared a public health emergency in Delhi NCR in view of the hazardous level of pollution. The Delhi government has also issued an order to shut all schools till 5th November to minimize exposure of children to pollution. Air quality in Delhi NCR deteriorated on Friday with a layer of toxic haze covering the national capital region, owing mainly to continued crop burning in the neighbouring states. With air pollution in the capital reaching the severe plus or emergency category, the Environment Pollution Prevention and Control Authority banned all kinds of construction activity till 5th November, along with a ban on bursting of crackers during the winter season. On Friday afternoon, the city's average air quality index stood at 482, which is the worst recorded in recent times. Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar has said that all 5 lakh government vehicles running on conventional fuel will be converted into e-vehicles in a phased manner. He said besides their cost effectiveness, these e-vehicles are eco-friendly and save petrol and diesel. Addressing the media during flagging of the electric vehicles procured by the INB Ministry in New Delhi, Javadekar said that these e-vehicles can play a major role in curbing high levels of pollution in Delhi during winters. He also criticized Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal for politicizing the issue of air pollution in Delhi.
मोदी सरकार ने यह फैसला किया कि सरकारी तंत्र में लगभग 5 लाख कार उपयोग में आती है। इन फेज मैनर ये एक निश्चित कार्यक्रम के तहत सभी गाड़ियां इलेक्ट्रिकल व्हीकल होंगे। आज मुझे बहुत खुशी है कि ई व्हीकल से हम यहाँ शुरू कर रहे हैं और मैं भी ई व्हीकल का इस्तेमाल करूंगा।
And now let's talk about environment and climate change. Rising average summer temperature and number of extremely hot days will likely result in 1.5 million excess deaths per year in 6 of India's biggest states by the year 2100. A study by the Climate Impact Lab in collaboration with the Tata Centre for Development said that climate change-induced spike in temperatures will have an adverse impact on mortality rate. Delhi will see the number of extremely hot days going up to 67, which used to be 3 days in 2010, while Odisha is expected to see the highest increase in the number of extremely hot days. Himalayan states are projected to see the highest increase in average summer temperatures. Uttar Pradesh is expected to have a projected annual death rate of about 4 lakh, while Bihar, Rajasthan, Andhra Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra are expected to see over 1 lakh deaths per annum. These 6 states are set to account for 64% of all deaths caused by rising temperatures. The Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi, is collaborating with the Indian Space Research Organisation to set up a space technology cell at the campus. The focus of the cell will be to carry out research projects in the space technology domain with specific deliverables. IIT Delhi Director Professor V. Ram Gopal Rao said that undergraduates of NIT who have scored more than 8 CGP can take admission in PhD program of IIT Delhi directly.
इस IIT दिल्ली में बोर्ड अभी अप्रूव किया है कि NIT से बीटेक स्टूडेंट्स उनका अगर CGPA एबव 8 रहेंगे तो वो लोग उनका फाइनल ईयर में ही IIT दिल्ली आ सकते हैं। हम लोग उनको अकोमोडेशन देंगे, उनको फीस माफ़ करेंगे और वो लोग IIT दिल्ली में फैसिलिटीज़ यूज़ करके IIT दिल्ली में एक सुपरवाइज़र भी रहेगा, वो लोग उनका फाइनल ईयर कोर्स वर्क भी IIT दिल्ली में कर पाएंगे।
Rao also expressed concern over the increasing levels of pollution and said that IIT Delhi is working on new technologies so that farmers will not have to burn stubble, which is one of the main factors behind pollution.
IIT दिल्ली में तो पहले तो ये पोल्यूशन कहाँ से आ रहा है वो अंडरस्टैंड करके उसमें दूसरा कंट्रीज़ कैसे एड्रेस किया वो भी देख के और ये टेक्नोलॉजी के मदद से और क्लोजली वर्किंग विद गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया हम लोग सेंट्रल पोल्यूशन कंट्रोल बोर्ड से क्लोजली काम कर रहे हैं तो ये सब साथ लाने से स्लोली पोल्यूशन का प्रॉब्लम चले जाएगा।
The Delhi High Court on Friday dismissed the interim bail application of senior Congress leader P. Chidambaram in the INX media money laundering case. The court turned down the plea after a report by the AIIMS Medical Board that said that P. Chidambaram is fine and does not require hospitalization. The board was set up on the court's order to examine the health condition of the former finance minister. Chidambaram is currently lodged in Tihar jail. The court also directed that Chidambaram's medical checkup be conducted regularly. The interim bail application was filed pending Chidambaram's bail plea, which is listed for hearing on 4th of November. And with this, it's a wrap on this edition of News Tonight. Thank you so much for your time.